Where to put your focus as the owner or the leader of a construction or trade-based business, because it can be difficult. And if you don't know me, my name's Dean Barton. I've got experience of running a business past £10 million a year in revenue, and I own businesses today and building and scaling them out. And you, as the owner of a business, will come up against some of the challenges that people don't really talk about. And number one, look, you get pulled in all different directions. Being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, you get pulled in a lot of different directions, and you are going to experience a lot of this stuff. Number one being doubt. You are going to doubt yourself a lot. You are going to question if you're doing the right things, whether you're handling things in the right way. You are going to doubt a lot of your staff. You're going to doubt customers. You're going to doubt, are you going to make it? Are you doing the right thing? Are you doing the wrong thing? It's not a nice place to be. You're going to get a lot of confusion. You're going to be confused most of the time. Again, linked to doubt, you'll be worrying about, well, how does this work? How's that going to work? What if this happens? What if this plays out? What if that doesn't pull off? What if you don't win that job? It's going to be a lot of confusion, which is going to lead to a lot of anxiety, because you're going to be worried about the future. You're going to be worrying ahead, going, oh, if I take this person on, and then if this job doesn't come in, if this contract doesn't happen, we can't afford to pay this. The anxiety will creep up, which will then lead to fear. You're going to be worried a lot of the time about, again, all of this same stuff. You're going to be worried, should I do this or not? Should I make this move? Should I take this risk on? Should I take on the bigger office? Should I take on the bigger project? A lot of things like that. Then you're also going to struggle with things like boredom, because a lot of this stuff is going to lead to boredom. You're going to be doing the same stuff over and over again that sometimes you don't really want to do. And as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we got into business because we thought it would be exciting. We thought it'd be, we can control our own destiny. We can do what we want when we want. But the reality is that's not actually the case. The reality is you're going to be bored a lot of the time doing the same mundane tasks over and over again, telling people the same stuff over and over again, and you feel like you're just repeating yourself. But that's what it is. That's the reality of business. And then lastly, you're going to feel a lot of frustration. You're going to put in a lot of work at a lot of times and not see the payoff and not see the benefit. You're going to spend money on stuff. You're going to invest money on stuff in the business, not see a result. It's not going to work out. You're going to feel frustrated and go, well, what was the point? I'm better off going to do this. Life's going to be easier. And you're always going to think, should I be doing something else because this is very hard? And that is not the case. Frustration is part of the route, and it's becoming very good at dealing with frustration, boredom, and all of this stuff that I'm talking about, and making that easy. So I'm going to unpack that in today's video and try and clear your head of where to focus. So let's make this nice and easy. As a business owner, you are going to experience really good months, some bad months, high profitability, low profitability, good staff, bad staff, great jobs, not so great jobs. It's a constant moving thing. And most of your time, you're going to be split down the middle of what you should be doing. And I'm going to make this really easy to understand, because most of the time, this is where people get stuck on this side of the coin of being a manager and operator. Whereas actually, you got into business to be an owner and to be a leader. And leadership is the most important thing. And when you're just stuck on this side of the board, you're dealing with just the day-to-day stuff. So everything day to day. You're dealing with staff. You're dealing with projects. You're dealing with customers. Problems all the time. And the list goes on and on. You're ordering materials. You're pricing work. Tax. Millions of things. You know yourself, the amount of different things you have to do being a manager and an operator. Now the problem is with that stuff, all of this stuff isn't pushing and growing the business forward. It's not getting you to where you want to be. It's stuff that you've got to do, and it's very important. But if you're not looking at the other side of the coin, which we'll get onto next, you're just in this place, and that is where all the frustration comes from. It's where all the anxiety comes from. It's where all the doubt comes from, the worry, whatever label you want to put on it, and whatever you might be experienced or you have experienced so far. That all comes from this side of the coin. Now, where you want to be, most of the time, as the owner and as the leader, there's only three things that you want to focus on heavily. And if we look at it in a simple, lovely little triangle, the most important thing to the owner and the leader, not just to you as a business owner, but for your staff as well, because you need to look after your staff, and your staff want to be part of something exciting is the vision. You have to have a vision as the foundation of where you're taking this company. Where are you going as a business? And then the next most important thing is the team, your people that help you bring that vision to life. And then, most importantly, the cash in a business. Without cash in a business, without profitability, the business doesn't exist. You can have the best dream in the world, but if there's no cash, there's no team, it's not going to happen. So these are actually the 3 focus points for you as the owner and where you really need to put all of your attention, or as much as you can. And this is why I'm a big believer in scaling a business and growing a business. You can afford a manager, you can afford operators, you can afford project managers, you can afford estimators within the business to look after all of this stuff, so that you can then focus back on this stuff. Because I guarantee you, when you started a business, you had a vision. It might have been a small vision, just building a business for you, but then you got stuck into that. And you started a business because you wanted to make a bit of cash, but then you got stuck into that. And you started a business not even thinking about a team, just thinking about you, and then you got stuck into that. And now we need to go back and just focus purely on this side of the coin. Now, your vision. What does a vision actually mean? I think when people hear this and say this, what does that mean? And your vision is actually long-term goals. Or where do you actually want to be? You started a business for a particular reason. Maybe it was just to make a bit of cash, just to get out of the rat race and not work for anyone else. But now, what is the actual long-term goal? What do you want your retirement plan to look like? What do you want your kids' life to look like? What do you want your investment life to look like? Do you want an investment portfolio of properties? Do you want to sell the business at some point and exit for a large figure? What does that look like for you? And you have to get drilled into your own needs and wants and where you want to be in life, work out your own vision and what that looks like for the company as well. Do you want a big team? Do you want a small team? Do you want a nice offices, premises? Or how big do you want to take this ship? You have got to get locked onto that vision of where exactly you want to be. Because without that, you don't know where you're going. It's a bit like a sat nav. If you don't put in an address, that sat nav is useless. And your brain and your mind is exactly the same. If you put in a clear destination into your brain and go, well, this is where I want to be. I don't know how we're going to get there yet. I need to figure that bit out and work out those steps. But this is where we want to be as a company. And you've got to have that locked on, because then you can display that to your team and get your team behind you as well. Because people, good people, want to be part of something. Good people want to work for a company that is going somewhere. And it's clearly defined, you know where you're going, and you've got big goals to hit. It's like a sports team, they perform and they've got big goals, they've got a championship to win, they've got a game to win. Good players of a team need that. And when you haven't got this, you just have average players, and you want really good people in your team. Because it's going to make your life so much easier as well. And this is where you need to focus on, because team comes before customers when you're on this side of the coin. Because your team will look after all this stuff and look after all your customers. Whereas what you're probably doing when you're on this side of it is just thinking all about your customers and not really thinking about a team whatsoever. But this is your way out to grow and build on the vision you've got. So your team development is so important, like it's massively important. And instead of thinking, I can do it all, I'll manage everything myself, you need to be thinking, right, who can I get to do this? And actually, who can you get to do this that's better than you at doing that stuff, so your whole company performs way better. And then the other side of the coin, cash. You've got to make money. You've got to be focused all the time on making money, getting the best bang for buck, increasing the margin of the business, increasing the potential of the business and smart acquisitions, investing back into the company, investing into the team, investing into training, which again is the team, in just investing into the business, whether you need more vans, whether you need better tools, whether you need whatever it is for the business and exactly what trade you do and whatever stage you're at a business. You've just got to be thinking about cash all the time and getting the best return on your cash all the time. As profit comes into the company, what's the best thing to do with that profit for the company? Is it to reinvest it? Is it to actually draw some and actually you take some so you've got a bit more of a comfortable life? Or is it keep pushing? And if you just focus on these 3, vision locked in, this is where we want to go. Team, this is what we need now. And just look at it and break it down into, what do you need next? What people do you need next? Build that team out and go, right, profitability. Where do we want to be? What cash are we going to have? What forecast have we got? Where's this company got to be? You've got to spend as much time as you can on this. And what I would say is, if you are stuck in this, because it's all on you at the minute, just diarise an hour a week, even if it's at a weekend, diarise a time to think about things from a leader's perspective and the stuff I've gone through today. And it'll get easier because you've got to look at it every week, because otherwise you can spend years, and this happens a lot, people doing years and years in business, at the same year in business, and they happily go around, I've been in business 20 years, but they've actually had the same 1 year 20 times. They haven't actually progressed as a business. And that for me is ultimate failure. You want to be pushing on and moving forward every year in business. So at least get an hour a week into this and it will help. But obviously if you have got more team, you have got more staff, a day a week on this stuff and then only doing tasks that relate to this. And that's going to make your life a lot easier to focus on the right things to grow the business. That is it. So guys, if you haven't heard of my podcast yet, there is a link below this video. You can check that out. Loads of free content on there on the whole, everything to do with this business. So check it out, links below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.